Hello and welcome, my Aries friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching my video. This is going to be a group reading for my friends born under the Aries zodiac sign. This is a special reading. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. There are so many young people fighting the biggest battles of their little lives. This topic impacts my family and is very close to my heart. I have seen some amazing children fight for their lives. I've seen firsthand these amazing children fight for their lives. Their strength, courage, and determination is astonishing. This month is full of their energies, so that's what the reading's going to be about. How can my Aries friends use their strength, courage, and determination better in their lives? And what areas could really use this energy? The deck that I'm going to be using for this reading is the Everyday Witches Tarot, created by Deborah Blake and Elizabeth Alba. I will end off the session with a blessing from the Angel Inspiration deck created by Kim Dreyer. Like always, I will have links to both these beautiful decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, Aries, let's see what the cards have to say. What card symbolizes Aries' strength? The Nine of Swords. It's a beautiful card. It's a very sad card, but it's still a beautiful card. Nines are about hard work and a completion. Swords are about truth and knowledge. The Nine of Swords is also known as the depression or anxiety card. The one trick about this card is that it's not giving up. The sun is coming out, and that strength that Aries has to not give up, to really push forward and use that inner willpower that you have to overcome whatever obstacles that you have to face. Not laying down in that bed and just curling up in the fetus position, rather getting up, using that strength and our ability to connect in with others. She's not alone in that room. She's getting support. That ability to reach out and be able to acknowledge our limitations is a big strength. Let's look at the biggest obstacle, Aries, that you face with your strength. That's the Five of Cups. Fives are a very conflictual number. They're about change, they're about conflict, they're about loss. It really kind of pushes into this nine a lot. Five of Cups really talks about that focusing in on what we were hoping for. This is your biggest obstacle. You're focusing on what you wish, you thought, you wanted, you could have had, only if. And that's bringing into these swords. You're focusing on that, focusing in on this, rather than focusing in on what you do have. Those abundance, those amazing gifts that you have. Focusing in on that sunrise. It's really important that to move forward and really embrace and really kind of grab hold of your strength. It's going to be, rather than focusing on what you think you should have had, focusing in on what we have, and then you're going to find your strength flourish. Let's look at where you should be focusing your strength. Yes, you have a lot of strengths, Aries. Like I said, you're able to reach out when you need it, and possibly reaching out more often would be a great support for you. But it's going to be focusing that attention piece, and that's going to be really important for you. Where you can focus that strength is work, getting that job done. When we're looking at strength, Aries, it's going to be really important for you to take that strength and apply it in getting tasks done. Sometimes life feels really overwhelming and you kind of feel like you're stuck on this sadness or that loss piece, but the strength is still there. Taking that strength and focusing it in rather than sitting in that swirling situation that is very easy to get caught into. Taking it and focusing it in and getting the job done. When you start to get little tasks done, it's a big achievement. All right, let's move on to courage. What card symbolizes Aries courage? The World. What a beautiful card. It's a fantastic card, sometimes known as the Dancer. It's the 21st card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about completion and beginnings. This really talks about your ability, Aries, to not only sometimes have these feelings and really have those days where you're struggling to get up and actually get that job done. However, you do it. And that's what it's talking about, that courage not to be afraid of those obstacles, to standing up and saying, you know what, I do need to get this done, and it's really important that I get it done. So let's look at what challenges you have, Aries, in facing your courage in that next level. And that's the 8 of Cups. 8s are about achievement and movement. Cups are about that emotion and intuition. What really crosses and challenges the world, that belief that you need to go inwards. It's not always an internal journey. Your courage can be shown on the outside, and it is shown on the outside. Sometimes when we're looking at something that is challenging, or what we perceive as a challenge, our ego steps in and tries to divert us. And that's very much what it's about here. Instead of going forward and really embracing that, your courage, and I'd also say that ego is playing in here as well, is that it's easier to redirect you. Your ego's redirecting you. Instead of being able to embrace your courage, it's saying, oh, well, we'll go inside. You need to go inner. It's safer if you go inwards rather than showing the world how courageous you are. Additionally, in your strength, I'd also say that your ego is directing you. Focus in on what you've lost rather than what you have. That way, you won't get hurt, in air quotes. It's more of a defense mechanism that your ego's trying to stop you from transforming and really showing where your strengths lie, where your courages are going. And that can be kind of hard to overcome as an individual. Your ego can be very, very convincing. Where in your life, Aries, does this courageous energy need to be shown? And that's the Magician. Just like I said, that taking that next step, that transformation, owning your energies, owning what you can do, what you can achieve. He's all about that skill, all about that proficiency, that talent that you have. When you allow your courage and your strength, I would say, to come in, you're looking at your ability to really transform and take control, take that energy and really move it forward. Interesting enough, Aries, your courage is centered around 2 major arcana that are connected in. The Dancer usually is a woman in a wreath with 2 wands. It's the same wand that the Magician holds. This is the beginning of your journey. This is your end, your pause, and that next step. So your courage is going to be something that's really going to come up, and it's going to be tested in the next little while here, because you are looking at that kind of a crescendo here. You've got the Dancer and you're moving straight into the Magician. It's fantastic. That energy is really going to flow for you. And finally, let's look at your determination. What card symbolizes determination for my Aries friends? We got a jumper here. You have another major arcana, and it's Justice. She's the 11th card in the major arcana. She speaks about balance. She speaks about truth and knowledge. It's fascinating how you started to do a run here of major arcana. Here we really are, that balance piece is really important, that determination. Your determination is really centered around right now that balance piece for you. Especially with your courage going into this kind of new beginning, you're kind of, if you will, powering up your courage to take on something new. That transformation piece is really going to be a big piece for you. So for determination, you're looking at that very black and white, very balanced aspect. It's not going to do well with shades of gray. So let's look at what is going to cross or be the biggest challenge for your determination. And there's your shades of gray. The Five of Wands. You now have 2 5s here. And they're both in the conflictual, they're both conflictual numbers, but they're also crossing or challenging your right here you have your strength and then also your determination. So when you're looking at angel numbers or repeated numbers, the 5s are about a positive change. And I really feel that with these both being crossing, they're the things that are challenging you the most. So our challenges in life bring out changes for us. We have to address those challenges to go forward. So these 2 5s are going to really bring a positive change for us and really talk about this, especially with your courage, that next step. So 5 of Wands, wands are about that passion and creativity, and really this is like too many cooks in the kitchen. Your shades of gray are going to be other people's input, including your own. It can be your higher self versus your ego. You're going to have all this information and everyone's going to have something to say about what you need to do, how you need to go forward. That determination piece really relies on you, on that black and white, that balance, not on what everybody else says. It's more about you rather than them. Where do you need to take this determination, this very clear determination that really picks up on that strength that you have and your courage? Because this is all about you, that black and white aspect of yourself, those poles. It's the Knight of Wands. Knights, like I said, are that very energetic, that go big or go home energy. I'm not afraid of anything. Wands are about your passion. That determination really needs to hook into that passion, that piece that really makes you happy in life. When we start to focus in our determination into something that we really enjoy, we are able to really get things done. Things move in our lives. We're getting out of our way. The universe can take over and say, I got this. Let me lead you. And you can create and manifest in your life all this amazing growth and abundance while the universe is taking care of all the little pieces for you. Interestingly enough, Knights are the 12th card in the minor arcanas. Pages are the 11th card, and we also have the 10s, obviously. So double 12s symbolizes spiritual growth. So we're really looking at connecting in with that passion piece and that grounding piece. The Knight of Pentacles is usually one of the few knights that is not in motion. When they're on horses, his horse is usually standing still, where the other horses are in varying stages of movement. He's the knight that's really getting down and getting his hands dirty. He's the workhorse. The other knights are all about that getting things done, that movement, and really furthering yourselves in that journey, getting to the dragon and overcoming that obstacle. So those are where your strength, courage, and determination are going. You've got lots going on. It's very much talking about a change. It's talking about a spiritual growth. However, the spiritual growth is not inward. This is going to be something that you need to really engage your world with. You don't need to go inwards and find solace there. You find solace on the outside this time. All right, my Aries friends, let's look at what card your shadow self wants to share. And that's the Page of Wands. Pages are the little brothers or sisters to the knights. They're usually a childlike energy that aspect of intrigue and excitement around every corner. Getting their hands dirty, playing and enjoying their world. And that's going to be really important. This can kind of get really heavy. We've got knights going, we've got some harder emotional cards up here, we've got some conflictual fives. Your shadow self really wants to remind you, don't forget to play. Your passion is really going to drive you forward, that piece that you really love to do. Give yourself more time and permission. That's the big piece, permission to go forward, because it's really easy to get kind of caught up in this piece. And that's not what we need. We don't need to be caught up. We need to take in, like the month says, that childhood piece. It can't be lost. And I can say from experience of being on the pediatric oncology units, that play and laughter is not lost. And we don't need to lose that here either. We need to embrace that. All right, let's end off the session with a blessing from the angels, as it was the perfect deck to finish off with. What blessing does the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month want to share with my Aries friends? Generosity. It's a beautiful card. It's very much connected in with Archangel Raphael with all the green. And that's generosity. Not only generosity with others, but with yourself. This really plays into the Page of Wands. It's really easy to be hard on ourselves. Right here you can see we are the worst critic. Be generous. Be nurturing and loving to you. Because Aries, I won't lie, when we're getting into some of these change pieces, we start to really get critical of ourselves. People are generous with us. It's time to really kind of give yourself a little bit of love as well. For those who wish, you can pause the video here. This is a group reading, however, I drew these cards especially for my Aries friends. Like I said, this is a group reading. If you were looking for more personal or specific information on a topic, you can follow the link below and schedule a private reading with myself. That said, I hope that you enjoyed this video and you were able to gain more insight into what your courage, your strength, and your determination are doing right now and saying for you. I want to thank you again for spending so much time with me and watching this video. I will continue to create videos for my zodiac friends in the upcoming weeks. If you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm gonna go, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. And in some of those tiers are free readings with myself. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Aries friends.